So this is a Caesar salad made of romaine hearts. It is dairy-free and egg-free because we used my special Caesar dressing from my cookbook. I use a whole lemon, I use nutritional yeast and anchovies, so it's got a lot of depth and a lot of flavor with no dairy, no egg. You really wouldn't know the difference. And I'm really excited to try it with breadcrumbs instead of croutons because we're gonna have more crunch all throughout the dish. Batarga is cured fish roe. It is very salty and rich and has that umami flavor. Again, I think it is a great substitute for grated Parmesan cheese if you don't eat dairy like me. I haven't decided yet if I want to use this. This isn't fishy, but it is salty. So I'm gonna taste a little bit first and decide later, but I wanted to tell you about this. Crunchy croutons are everyone's favorite part of a Caesar salad. So I feel like switching it up and using breadcrumbs instead of croutons allows you to get that crunch everywhere all throughout the salad. We're gonna use 4 slices of, I have some sourdough gluten-free bread here. You wanna use sourdough or white bread. So we're just gonna cube this just to get it into the processor and it'll break down more easily this way. Because this is gonna be more of a topping, I'm gonna make them a little bit more coarse. Like that. So pour your breadcrumbs, if you can, into a mound in the center of your baking sheet that's lined with a piece of parchment paper. Olive oil. You want a couple tablespoons. Kosher salt. Fresh black pepper. Just gonna use a little bit of granulated garlic. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of nutritional yeast instead of Parmesan cheese. That was like 1 tablespoon maybe, and that's like a half. We've seasoned them. Now just use your hands and just mix all that together. Okay. All right, now we wanna spread them out in a thin layer across this sheet pan and toast them in a 350-degree oven for between 15 to 18 minutes. I do happen to have a jar of pre-made breadcrumbs ready to go, so we don't have to wait for that. I think I had tossed some herbs in these. I like to use the hearts of the romaine, and typically they have more crunch and less of like the big leaf on the top, so you want to get to those inner leaves that have more crunch. And now we're just gonna wash these inner leaves. They need to be really dry, so make sure you do a few rounds. You really, really, really want your lettuce leaves dry. And now we're gonna make the dressing. The reason that this dressing is so special in my opinion is because we are going to use the whole lemon, pith, peel, and all. We're gonna dice this up. I'm gonna cut it in half first and just take out any big obvious seeds. All right, whole diced lemon. This is gonna make extra dressing. You're not gonna use all of this, but it's good. I think anytime you make something, make a little extra, have it in the fridge on hand for the future. 4 cloves of garlic. Just a rough chop on the garlic, just to help the blender along. Next, we're gonna do the whole tin of anchovies. So I've opened, this is a whole tin of anchovies. Don't be afraid. Again, we have a whole lemon in there. We're making a full cup, so this is gonna go a long way. Like I said, if you don't like anchovies, then swap it out for a tablespoon of miso paste. Tablespoon of coarse ground mustard, like a country style mustard. I prefer that. I would not use just a regular Dijon. Look, if you wanna look at the difference here, coarse ground, you wanna see the seeds. Then we're gonna use 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Nutritional yeast, the vegan cheese substitute. This is really gonna give you that Parmesan flavor. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2, and last but not least, Lots of fresh black pepper. I love fresh black pepper in Caesar dressing. So we're gonna blend this down into like a thick paste, and then we're gonna finish adding the olive oil afterwards. We really wanna break down that lemon. Can you see? It's still quite chunky. All right, the other half of olive oil is going in now too. Now we're gonna let her rip. Let's see, are we there yet? Yes, I would say we're there. Let me taste it. It's perfect. It's lemony, the anchovy's there, but it's not fishy, it's salty. It's got depth, the way that Parmesan cheese would add to it, thanks to the nutritional yeast, and I think the lemon rind. It's complex, it's beautiful, and it coats the lettuce leaves really well. So we're gonna just do a couple spoonfuls of dressing. You just wanna get the leaves coated in the dressing. Especially because we're not cutting this up into small pieces. We're gonna have these larger pieces that people are gonna have. You wanna make sure that whoever's eating this is gonna get dressed lettuce. So get your leaves and then place them beautifully on your platter. I'm so excited, this is so pretty. So we're gonna take our breadcrumbs and we are just going to generously and liberally, I mean, do you see how delicious this looks? Now the fun part, we get to taste it. All right, I'm gonna take a couple of leaves. It's really good. It's really crunchy. So this is Bottarga, and it has a casing similar to salami that you need to peel back before you actually grate it. You can use a microplane to grate your gorgeous Bottarga. You only need a little bit. This stuff is potent. So the Bottarga is, I shaved it there. It's slightly lighter orange than these toasty, darker breadcrumbs. So it adds this cheesy, savory depth. So let's see. Definitely add Bottarga. It complements it perfectly. So good. Okay, so now this is called Caesar salad with romaine hearts, toasted breadcrumbs, and Bottarga. Good.